So while all the focus of the golf world should be on the US Open set to take place in Brookline this weekend, a grueling turf war is taking place in the professional world of golf. And to put it all in context for us is our own Dan Wolken and Andy Nesbitt. So guys, just jumping right in here, in your recent column, Andy, you said this, quote, "Here's what the PGA Tour should do moving forward with this turf war. Gleefully wave goodbye to any player who decides to give up and play for the dirty money instead of playing for a lot of money and legacies on the PGA Tour. The tour doesn't need those players around. Fans won't miss them." So my question for you, Andy, is there a point where that mentality for you could change if the right star players do defect?
No, I don't think so. I think that they're not going to get the big players, the Rory McIlroys, the Justin Thomases. At least I hope not. And they just keep getting these, C-list guys like Pat Perez. I watch golf like 9 hours a day over the weekend, and I don't know the last time Pat Perez ever contended on a Sunday. Not going to miss him. Seems like a nice guy. He can go make all the money he wants. No golf fans are going to miss him. So what I'm saying with the PGA Tour is just let these guys go. Keep your stars, your young stars, build from there, and don't worry about these middle-aged, mediocre golfers who are leaving for money and no fame.
And for you, Dan, you said this in your latest. You said, quote, "This is a real threat, and the PGA Tour needs far more from its commissioner than an interview on CBS where he derides LIV as exhibition golf and touts the purity of competition on his own tour. None of that moves the needle at all, but for some reason, he can't bring himself to tell the truth here." So my question for you is the PGA underestimating LIV, and how serious of a threat is this new league?
I think maybe everybody's been underestimating LIV to a certain extent. And look, Andy's point that you've got some has-beens and some guys who are kind of the C-listers is true, but maybe there is a critical mass where 2 or 3 more semi-big names or guys who are in the top 20 end up leaving, and maybe that does give a permission structure to others. So I do think we're underestimating a little bit just how vastly different the money is. You're talking about last weekend with the tournament in London, Charles Schwartzel making $4+ million. I mean, nobody has a tournament like that on the PGA Tour where you can make that kind of money. So I do think it's something to consider that the PGA Tour is not going to be able to fight LIV on their turf, which is money. They're going to have to sort of get a little more creative, I think, to stave off this threat.
Yeah, and that's true. They have all the money in the world. Like, they just have unbelievable amounts of money. They don't care. They'll spend as much as they want. But what we saw this past week in London in their debut event, it was just very empty, right, Dan? Like, I can't think of one memorable shot from the tournament. Maybe the one that hit the fan on the butt and everyone made fun of it. But there wasn't that moment because it's just an empty exhibition where some guy's bank account gets a little bit bigger. And as a golf fan, like, why would I tune in to see, like, ooh, is Dustin Johnson going to make $4 million this week? Like, don't care. Don't care what's in his bank account. And what we saw Sunday in Toronto, that's what sports fans care about. Guys fighting, playing for a championship in front of thousands of fans who are going nuts. And that kind of energy, you're not going to get just trying to see if Charles Schwartzel can make another $3 million.
The LIV clearly has the resources, and it's going to continue possibly to get other big names in the future. It could very well survive for a long time, so I'm curious for both of you, what does it say about the current state of golf that this is a thing? And also my follow-up to that, even deeper, is what is the actual goal of the LIV? Andy, if you want to go first.
I think this really doesn't have anything much to do with golf. I think golf is just a pawn in this game by the Saudis to sports wash and to say, like, hey, look, we can bring in all these different kind of businesses now. We're not the same Saudis that just killed 81 people in March. We put on golf tournaments. We had a DJ playing on the practice range. Like, we're fun now. No, like, they're killers, and they don't really care about golf. They're showing that with all the money they're spending. It's not about the golf. It's not about any of that. It's just about sports washing and trying to make a dirty government look not dirty when actually just they're very filthy.
There's nothing about the LIV Golf structure that's going to ever really be profitable spending at the level that they've been spending to get this thing up and running. It's a long-term play by Saudi Arabia, understanding that petroleum and all the oil that they pump out of the ground is not going to last forever. If they want to be, a relevant nation, they're going to have to sort of open up a little bit. They're going to have to attract more investment. And look, golf's certainly a sport that because of the kind of people who play it, the kind of people who are interested in it, demographically, it does attract, big companies, Fortune 500 type of companies to that sport. So, that's a different sort of completely different paradigm than what the PGA Tour is after, which is, to actually make money. And so you've got two things that are competing on totally different grounds here.
Mac, I've angered a lot of people on Twitter with the things I've written about the LIV Golf Tour. And you know what I say to those people? You've been muted and I don't care about you.
Hey, as long as you stand by what you say and you believe, you've won the internet, Andy. So keep doing you. We can always count on you to do that. But up next, you chat with Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp after the break. Hey, sports fans, if you want to watch more sports seriously, be sure to check out these clips right here. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see all the great content from us here at USA Today Sports.